Hey, Mario Gonzalez here with your 2-minute real estate tip. A lot of information coming your way really fast, so pay attention and don't miss a thing. Hey, Mario Gonzalez back with you. On today's blog, we're going to talk real quickly about tenant selection criteria. I'm going to give you 6 major points, and at the end, I'm going to talk to you about some warning signs that are there for troubled tenants that you really should look out for. So the first thing is the credit screen. Now, a lot of companies will say, oh yeah, we'll tell you the credit score. But that doesn't tell you if they're rising from, a 600 credit score doesn't tell you if they're rising from the ashes or if they're crashing from an 850. It really doesn't. You need a full credit screen. So just like they would if you're making a major purchase. And that full credit screen will show you everything they have, 30, 60, 90-day past due credit analysis, all the way back to 7 years. It'll check both the installment accounts and the revolving accounts, the big ones and the little ones. You can look for past due, collections, any repossessions they've had, foreclosures, everything. And also you need to check bankruptcies. You do not want anybody with an open bankruptcy because they can tie the rent into that. The second thing is your criminal background. And that criminal background shouldn't just be a local record search. It should be a national record search. So you're looking, criminal background, both misdemeanors and felonies, sexual predators, eviction history, all very big. And you have to be very careful how you screen tenants with regards to criminal activity now because of disparate impact. We have a whole other blog on that. The third thing you need to look for tenants is their employment? Is their employment current right now? Do they have pay stubs that they can show you? If they're moving from out of town, you need to really look and say, what does their employment guarantee their pay to be right now? If they're self-employed, you really need to look at pay stubs, bank statements, tax records, all that type of stuff to really prove that they can pay for the home that they're looking to rent. The fourth thing is if they've been a renter before, you want to look at past rental history. And the past rental history isn't just the last place they've lived, it's the last few places they've lived. And you want to really, just because they gave you a number for the past landlord doesn't mean that's the past landlord. So do your research properly. Go through that last landlord company, do your own research to find that number, then come out there and check back. You should have something that they can fill out that says, did they pay on time? Were they ever late? Did they ever bounce a check? Did they ever miss any sort of payments whatsoever? Did they fulfill everything that was there on the lease? How much was their rent did they pay? How much deposit did they have? How much deposit did they get back? Did they damage the place? Did they have any pets? Did the pets damage the place? You name it. We have a very long form, and I'm happy to send that over to you if you'd like, free of charge if you want to know how we look at the base past rental history. Another thing is you want to look at their pets. Do they have pets? You can do a full background on pets alone. There are online services like petscreening.com that will tell you, hey, are these pets up to, do they have their shot records? Do they have their normal records? Photos, size, weight, type, any history of biting or any violence whatsoever. So you really need that, especially in today's world of assistance animals and service dogs, all that type of stuff. We have a whole other blog on that as well. But you really need to do some sort of background on the pets that they're going to be bringing to the home, or the animals they're bringing to the home. And the sixth piece here is fair housing rules. If you as a property manager or a DIY landlord own more than 4 homes, or you're a real estate agent, you're just managing 1 home as a licensed realtor, you have to follow all the fair housing guidelines. That's a 3-hour class in itself that's taught to real estate agents. There are a ton of them out there. Again, we have a whole other blog on how to kind of abide by fair housing, but it's tough to do here in the 2 minutes. But you have to abide by all the fair housing guides. Now, the last piece I want to tell you is some of the warning signs you can look for bad tenants. If they come to you and they say, hey, I have full cash, I can pay cash up front right to you for the entire term of the lease, there may be some warning signs there. If they have an urgency, I have to move right now, my owner's selling the property, it's closing right now, whatever. If there is a huge sense of urgency to get into a home, then that may also be some warning flags. Just slow down, make sure you screen everything properly. So some other warning signs are just, if you're doing any of this background, look at social media. There's so much out there that you can just do with a Google search or an online search of somebody outside of these things that will throw up some flags for you as well. So that's it in a nutshell. We have a ton more blogs, and if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to contact me anytime. I'm happy to answer your questions.